heartbeat of competition, the drama of the moment. This is TNT Sports.
Takes the Sharpie 500 at Bristol. TNT Sports welcomes you to Bristol for Budweiser pole qualifying to set the starting field for tomorrow night's Sharpie 500. When Bristol Motor Speedway opened in 1961, 18,000 fans saw the first race. The non-stop action this high bank bowling provides has proven so popular that now some 160,000 watch the races here. It's a destination race for the fans, and today the destination for 48 drivers is a spot in the 43-car field. 30 seconds of speed that can make or break their weekend. Down to pit road, here's Matt Yoakum.
The guy everybody's chasing for qualifying is Jeff Gordon, who was the only driver in the 14-second range today. Now, you had a 14.93. Are you going to be able to duplicate that, or are you going to have to better that to try to get the pole?
Well, we're probably going to have to better that. I'd love to duplicate it, but we were a little bit tight in practice, so I think if we can free the car up a little bit without freeing it up too much, we got a great shot at it. But that 12 car is going after us, and a couple other guys that drew some later numbers, so we'll put up the best number we can and see where we end up.
He certainly knows about qualifying here in Thunder Valley. In fact, the last 5 races here, he has started on the front row. We'll try for number 6 this weekend. To Marty Snyder.
Well, Matt, the man who was second fastest in practice and winner of 2 of the last 3 pole positions here at Bristol was Ryan Newman. So what's the key to hitting that perfect lap? Obviously, you've done it before.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff was really good in practice. We'll have to see what we can do. I'll tell Dodge was fastest we've ever been here in practice. Usually we pick up quite a bit in qualifying, and hopefully nobody else does.
Ryan was talking about, or Jeff Gordon was talking about how he's worried about this guy. As we said, won 2 of the last 3 poles here, and his team tested here 2 weeks ago. Alan?
Little mutual admiration society going on there with Newman and Gordon. Welcome to Bud Pole qualifying from Bristol. Alan Bestwick, Wally Dallenbach, Benny Parsons, glad that you've joined us. When I think about qualifying here at Bristol, I think about the car commercial, zoom, zoom, because that's about as long as it takes for each guy to go around here.
When I think about qualifying here, it's scary. It's a fun 2 laps, but it's scary. 2 places I think really get your attention. That's Atlanta and here. And I tell you what, when people say, I had to hold my breath for these qualifying laps, they do, because after a qualifying lap, if you look inside the car, you'll see the driver going, I mean, it does get your attention and trying to get your breath.
And you'll have the handshake thing going, too. Benny, you don't have to start up front to win here, but boy, it sure does help.
It sure does. You know, we always talk about the farther you start up front, the better off you are. And I don't think that statement is ever truer in any racetrack than Bristol Motor Speedway, because, as Wally said, the cars go so fast, if something happens in front of you, you just can't miss it. Coming off turn 4 here last year, the 30 car, Johnny Sauter gets bumped, and there's no place for the other cars to go. There is other place, but the cars are traveling so fast, they simply can't stop fast enough to avoid the accident. So, yes, the farther up front you are, the better off you are.
And that was just lap 7 of last August's race here, and it was a big mess for a number of drivers. As far as the championship is concerned, 3 races to go in the race to the chase. Things are so tightly bunched together. This is always a tense and dramatic race anyway. That tension will only be even greater and heightened on Saturday.
I'm telling you, from Matt Kenseth, Kurt Busch, the 6th place driver on back, it's really close. 345 points behind. But let's go back to 10th. Only 10 cars qualify for that chase. And Wally, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, it's close.
And I think a lot of it here is just being lucky. You're just going to be lucky to get out of it with not losing too many points, not getting in somebody's wreck. So, yeah, there's a lot of pressure here.
93% of all these August races here at Bristol have been won from top 10 starting spots. Who gets those positions? We start finding out next. Pole qualifying from Bristol Motor Speedway on TNT is brought to you by Budweiser. It's time for a fresh one. Grab a Budweiser, the race is on. By Just for Men, more than a hair color, it's the Rejuvenator. Ends gray in 5 minutes, looks natural. And by Harley Davidson, it's time to ride. Moments away from the start of Bud Pole qualifying, 48 drivers to go around the world's fastest half mile for 43 starting spots in the Sharpie 500. It's such a different facility, a fantastic facility, so impressive to look at, a lot of impressive things around. Dave's going to show some of them to us today, Dave.
I am indeed, Alan. In fact, as you mentioned, being the world's fastest half mile, it's a hard ticket to get. People love this place, and they love to come here. They love to come inside the track, and outside the track, right here behind turn 2, there's something brand new in what they call the Bruton Smith building. That is a 3-story building that houses the offices of the track as well as ticket sales. And they also have an interactive thing inside called the Bristol Experience. It's something you can go through, see the uniforms of past winners. It's got a small theater, interactive games, a fully stocked gift shop just for you, Alan, and also the remains of Michael Waltrip's number 30 that crashed in the Busch race in April of 1990. That's a wreck he survived, and it's on loan from Talladega Speedway here to this place. So that is a place that's going to change over time. It just opened Wednesday, and we had a chance to go through there this morning. It's absolutely free of charge. It's open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5. And so while fans are here for the racing experience, they can also go outside the track for what they're calling the Bristol Experience.
I will never forget that wreck.
No, Michael Waltrip's crash here. That was big time. All right, Scott Wimmer just about ready to go. Don Barry waiting for the NASCAR officials up high in the tower to say, let them go.
This is just the beginning of a long weekend of coverage from here in Bristol on TNT. Later today, NASCAR Nextel Cup Series happy hour, followed by 250 laps of NASCAR Busch Series racing. The Sparks will be flying tonight. Then tomorrow night, the Sharpie 500. Starting with Discover Card Countdown to Green, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. TNT all weekend. Your home for NASCAR from Bristol. All right. So Scott Wimmer is the first of the 48 drivers to go. He was 14th fastest in practice. And Scott looking to top his best start here at this racetrack, which was a 20th place where he qualified in the March race of this year.
And Scott was 14th best this morning in the practice session that was held. Interesting to see if they're going to pick up, if the first lap's going to be faster than the second.
And remember the zoom thing.
It happens fast.
Yeah. His 2 laps will be over in about 30 seconds from right now.
Don't blink.
Green flag. Top 38 on time make the cut for today. Then the provisional rules fall into place, owner points and so on. And also at stake today, besides those starting positions, pit stall selections on pit road. Critical here at Bristol as well in the tight confines down there.
15-16 was Wimmer's practice lap, his best practice lap.
Not so much wrong. He just went down the backstretch.
They've been on ever since he started.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good. You think they might want to turn those off at some point?
I think so. Okay, qualifying's over. And he slowed down considerably, well, 0.15 of a second from his practice runs this morning.
So Scott Wimmer, first and done. Never a good thing to be the first car to go in qualifying when a track
is
sat there in the sun for a while.
But now he blew all the dust and the dirt off it, so it's going to get better as we go along here. By the time we get down to Rusty, the track will be in good condition.
Rusty Wallace scheduled to be the 4th driver to go. This is Kirk Shelmerdine's car. It is Brad Teague driving. Teague had shown up here with another team this morning, but Kurt has put the Johnson City, Tennessee veteran on board his machine. Brad looking to have a triple duty here this weekend, although he was unable to make the field for the Busch Series race.
I'll tell you what, he isn't out of the throttle long. Drives it off down the corner just about the time that settles in the corner, back on the throttle.
I tell you have to have a lot of faith in them Goodyear tires when you get back on the throttle here for qualifying. Like BP says, you're off it just a little bit, and then you got to get on it as hard as you can, as fast as you can, and just hope it sticks.
Second lap on Brad Teague is a little bit faster. 15.696. It will leave him, though, second of the two that have run. Marty?
One of the fastest cars for much of the day was Mark Martin until the end of the day when everybody else turned to fast lap. Mark, got a shot at this pole today?
I don't think so, but we got a great race car for the race. And we knew we were going to be off a little qualifying. We'll get the best lap we can here. We'll get ready to race. I think we've got a good car for the race.
Mark always runs well here at Bristol, but he also usually qualifies well. 7 poles here for Mark Martin in his career.
Scott Riggs on the clock now. Wouldn't it have stunned you if Marty asked Mark that question and he said, oh, yeah, we got a great shot?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hang on there, Scott.
And he is really struggling. He was 41st best, talking about Scott Riggs, in the practice session.
TNT Pace Chase keeping live real-time track, comparing the current lap against the fastest lap in the qualifying session so far.
Just taken up off the racetrack, getting into turn 3.
And second lap for Riggs, going to put him second quickest of the 3 that have gone, a 15.457. He picked up 0.3 of a second on his second lap. That's just because the first one was such a handful.
He really need to pick up about 3/4 of a second, because I doubt if that speed will be good enough to qualify in the top 38. He probably have to take a provisional to race tomorrow night.
Okay, here comes Mr. Bristol. Next out to qualify, Russell William Wallace. 9 wins, 7 poles. Led 3,553 laps in competition at this track over the course of his career.
And he loves this place.
Yes.
Which helps a lot.
Qualified 4th, finished 2nd. Led 100 laps in the 500 in the spring race here back at the end of March.
I loved it when I was leaving. That's what I loved about this place.
Are you trying to say for my introduction of you tomorrow I should not bother looking up your stats?
No.
Check this out. Green, green, green. This should be easily the fastest time of the day, and it was.
Second lap looking faster.
We'll try it again. Yep.
Just lost a bit of time there. 15.170 for Rusty Wallace on that first lap.
That's still not quite as fast as he practiced. He ran a 09 in practice this morning, but right now 15.17 good enough for the pole.
Rusty got a lot of the rumor mongers swirling up in the garage. He has called a press conference for Monday down at Daytona, USA in Daytona Beach, Florida, and a lot of theories as to what it is that he will announce.
Yep.
Most of them revolving around whether or not 2005 will be Rusty's last year of competition at this level. Wait and see.
Tony Abbey in the 80 car.
Yep. Second XL Cup Series race for Tony. Made his debut at Watkins Glen.
Ooh. That was ugly. That started ugly.
He spun out earlier today about that spot there, but luckily did not.
Spun out in that spot.
And he's not going to get as lucky this time. This morning he spun out, didn't hit anything hard. But he has marked up the inside wall with the front of his car.
Yeah.
It started ugly in 1 and continued to get worse.
It was real ugly going off turn 4.
That's too bad. Tony Abbey, a veteran of open wheel racing.
And this is what we talked about when you jump on the gas and you just hope it sticks, and it didn't stick.
Did not stick a lick.
The front tire stuck.
He's just not good sounds
didn't
right
stick.
here.
It doesn't look like he hit that wall very hard, but you know what? Pretty hard.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't take a whole lot for these cars to spin out this morning.
Tony out of the car and walking away for the mandatory trip to the care center. Safe to say he may be one of the drivers not in the Sharpie 500 tomorrow night. Red flag is out, Marty.
Michael Waltrip having a little chat with Jamie McMurray. I have to comment on Jamie's sunglasses. If you poke yourself in the eye with those, that's going to hurt.
I don't know what you said, but I heard you say you're making...
You're ignoring me, that's why.
You're making fun of my sunglasses. You know what? Oakley sends me free sunglasses, and they keep sending me these, so I thought that was a sign I needed to wear them. And sometimes goofy sunglasses are cool.
I don't know, though, Mikey. You want to grade those?
Not very good, but I like your shoes. Are those...
Isn't that cool? I know. I'm cool.
Show them your underwear.
The last time we talked to you two guys, you were commenting on his butt, Michael.
No, I wasn't. I talked about his body, and what happened to the one that said Jamie McMurray on there? Oh, I was talking about his body.
Oh, okay, his body. I came to talk to him about his race car. Is that right?
He doesn't ever wear sunglasses. I don't know if you ever noticed that. He never wears sunglasses.
All right, okay, let's talk about your race car because we're done with the sunglasses talk. But you've qualified awfully well here in the last 5 races. We were just looking at that. 4 top 10 starts. Is the car that good today?
Yeah, it is. And 2 of those 4 starts was a 3rd place starting position. And I think both the times we missed the pole by just a few thousandths or just a 100th maybe. So we feel like we've been close enough to get the pole. We were 13th in practice, and I think I got a shot to get the pole today. It's almost a crapshoot in qualifying here. You throw it out there and you hope it sticks. You don't take time to see what the car's doing. If you do that, it's too late. You got to mash it and hope the car will stick. The Napa Chevy, though, I think is right. I want to tell you, I usually don't do commercials, but I just had some of the new...
We do, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we're in a bit of a delay. That guy spun out. But I got to tell you, I just had the new Domino's double stuffed pizza. Oh, me. You got to try it. It's out of this world.
Send some up here.
Yeah, Wally says send some up to the booth. Can you work on that?
I'll work on that.
Like before the end of qualifying?
Okay, I'll work on that. Let's see if we can't work. I'll see what kind of PR staff we have with the Napa race team. Sometimes I got to make sure I say Napa because I know everybody sees it all over me.
All right, fair enough. Mikey finished 10th here in March, Matt.
Bristol, a very special racetrack for Rusty Wallace. His first and 50th career wins came here in Thunder Valley. 9 wins, and you're hoping to hold on for your 8th pole here, Rusty. Is it going to hold up?
I don't know if it will or not. You know, the track's right at about 9 degrees hotter than when it was when we just finished, so I knew we weren't going to have any more grip. I knew I was just going to have to drive hard and see what came, but that was a 15-17, which was not a bad lap, you know, so I hope that'll keep me in the top 10. Now, for more than that, to tell you the truth.
A lot of people would like to get an update on your son, Steven, who was injured here in a crash in a Hooters Cup car.
He's doing real well. They got him out of the hospital, no broken bones. He's just beat up and bruised up, and he was way dehydrated. It was a hot race. He was wore out, tuckered out, and crashed. But he's been home for 2 days now recuperating, and all the MRIs come out negative, and all the x-rays were negative. And so, man, he run good. He was sitting there running 5th all night long, first time ever at Bristol. God, was I excited. And then we were 10 laps from being looking like heroes, I'll tell you that. But he got in a crash, and but he's okay.
And you can just tell by the smile as Rusty's describing Steven's night before the crash, how well he was running, just what a proud father he was, guys.
He was spectacular on Wednesday. Unfortunately, his exit from the race was spectacular as well, but we're glad to hear that Stephen Wallace is doing well. We are in cleanup mode here at Bristol after Tony Ave crashed early on in Bud Pole qualifying. Rusty Wallace is the leader. Tony Ave, his crew, wait to see if they'll get a provisional. Back at Bristol, Casey Mears has just taken the green flag to begin his Bud Pole qualifying run. Cleanup complete after Tony Ave's crash. Not every day you see a race car with pink numbers.
No, you don't. Different look, obviously, for Mears this week. The Energizer Bunny. And there's significance to the pink, but I'm not sure exactly what that is.
It's the color of the bunny.
The bunny.
15.228. First lap for Casey Mears, second fastest.
The first one's going to be better. He got going really well. He got off turn 4 to take the green. Very good.
He'll come up second quick out of the 6 that have gone. And again, that first lap of 15.228. The good one. Casey was 46th in practice.
No, he was 15th.
15th. Okay, what's that number I'm looking at? I'm looking at the number of the car in front of him. My bad.
Nemechek, now he was 32nd best in practice. He ran a 28. So Nemechek just needs to pick up about 1/10 of a second. That's all. 1/10 of 1 second. That's a lot here, VP. Oh.
And considering they may only be 4/10 from 1st to 38th in the whole thing.
Well, so far our TNT pace chase tells us that he did not do it. Still not as fast as the leader. The red bubble, if it's in the red, means he's not quite as fast as the fastest time. If it would go to green, it would be faster than.
doesn't look like he could get after the gas very hard.
Fourth fastest for Joe Nemechek, 15.389, fourth out of 7. And Jimmy Johnson up next. Boy, what a 3 weeks it's been for him.
Yes, it really has. And today they struggle. I talked to Chad Kanowski. I don't like this racetrack. Jimmy Johnson said, I really, really struggle trying to qualify for this racetrack. He said, I will race better than I qualify, but qualifying is always such a chore.
His best start here, BP, is an 11th place runner, did it in March of this year.
Like I said, he just doesn't qualify well here. But right now,
No, it's pretty good.
pretty close.
He's 26th.
Pretty close. On the pole so far. He might change his mind about this racetrack.
He just wants to get it over with.
Yeah, yes, he's hurrying
so fast.
He's hurrying to get through.
Second lap a little slower, but Jimmy Johnson bumping Rusty Wallace off the Bud pole at 15.157 seconds. Talked about the last few weeks and how miserable they've been for Jimmy Johnson. Had a 232-point lead over Jeff Gordon going into the Brickyard 400. Spun early in the race, and then boom, all done 36th. Watkins Glen missed a shift.
Boom.
Boom. Finished 40th. And then at Michigan,
a valve spring broke, which allowed the valve to come down, hit the piston, got on top of the piston, and locked her up, and boom, boom. Yeah, another boom.
And now he finds himself second in the championship standings. Mike Wallace on track in the 09 car for James Finch.
And Mike was 35th in practice, ran a 32. Look at this, green up. He's doing okay. He got to turn 2, Wally.
Yes, he was. Got a good start, got through one good, flipped a little, turn 2.
All right, doesn't seem to be 7th best first lap.
That's enough.
A little faster on the second MVP. Moved him up to 6th, 15.441 for Mike Wallace. Let's check downstairs.
Alan Kevin Harvick, one of 5 drivers trying to do triple duty this weekend, the Craftsman Truck Series race, the Busch Series race, and the Nextel Cup race, which leads me to think, why would you want to do that? It seems like a glutton for punishment, Kevin.
Well, it's not anything new.
That's true.
You guys know that I like to race, but had a good start to the weekend in GM Goodwrench. Silverado was good Wednesday night, and I missed the pit road flag, so I screwed that up pretty bad. That didn't sound too good, did it?
Didn't sound good at all.
But Team Realtree Chevrolet got bright orange and camouflage on it this weekend. Wasn't bad in practice. You just gotta hit it right. And if you don't hit it right, you're gonna be 30th.
Kevin will be easy to find on the racetrack. Finished second in this race last year.
Oh, what was that all about?
I don't know. He couldn't get the car up to speed, but he took the green flag. Instead of coming down pit road the first time by and not taking the green flag, so he's done.
Ryan McGlynn, the 29-year-old from Chick City, Pennsylvania. 44 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series starts. Second attempt at the Nextel Cup Series. Was unable to get into a race earlier this year. And this one hasn't gone that well for him either.
I mean, I say he's done. He could go back out. As he goes down pit road and crosses the start-finish line, he would take the white flag. So he would need to back up and go all around the racetrack.
While that little debate goes on, let's check with Matt.
Jimmy Johnson congratulating the guys on the Lowe's team. Well, how would you describe that effort, Jimmy?
That was so much better. I mean, I've been struggling a lot, and I'm not going to, put any blame on the race car. I can race great here, but qualifying, I've done everything wrong, and went back and thought long and hard about it, looked at my notes, and we helped the race car, and then I drove it right. So very thankful. I got it all sorted out. Hopefully top 10, top 15 spot, and we'll be good in the race. I know that. This Lowe's team's way too strong. We've got to get this monkey off our back, get back to victory lane, get back up front, and put a show on. So we're ready.
How tough to kind of put that out of your mind? I mean, you can say, hey, look, it was stuff out of our control, but still, it's 3 straight weeks.
Yeah, it is, but each time it was something different. Even with the engine failures, without me messing up the engine, they were different things. And, I have the best engine shop in the business, and the guys are working hard, and stuff happens. I mean, we're all trying hard. We hate that it happens. We go to the racetrack every week thinking it's going to be better and faster and just as reliable. But, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And it's a great team effort. We'll be back. Don't sweat.
Hey, Matt.
Go ahead, BP.
Outside pole right now.
BP says you're outside pole right now.
That's okay. I hope to be top 10 top 15 with that. So Mark was strong in practice. I picked up a lot. I'm happy.
He was 26th fastest in practice, trying to hold on to his first top 10 start here in Nextel Cup, guys.
New fast man in Bud Pole qualifying. Mark Martin looking for his 8th pole position here at Bristol. Back at Bristol with Bud Pole qualifying on TNT. Jeff Green in the Petty 43 is on track. Jeff, a former Bud Pole winner here. Did it for this race, 2001.
And Jeff gets around here pretty good. He's right. Looks good right now. Kind of got a little bit loose there in turn 3.
It was green, green, green till he had that episode up the corner right now. Green, look how much faster he is than the pole.
Nailed 1 and 2 there. This is where he's having trouble, right in 3.
5th fastest on the first lap. Let's see how about this one.
He lost it all in turn 3, both laps.
Almost identical times between the 2 laps. So 5th out of 12 for Jeff Green, and a good run for the Cheerios car. You can hear the cheering in the background. You know what car's going on there. Hugely popular in this neck of the woods. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Speaking of stopping a slide, talking about Jimmy Johnson, Jr. needs some good things to happen here this weekend, too.
Yeah, they really have struggled. Ever since he was involved in the fire out at Infineon Raceway in July, they've really struggled to try to find the right setup for these Bud cars.
That's qualifying here at Bristol. 2nd this race, 2002. Lap 1 for Junior. 6th fastest, 15.287.
All right, this one is green, green, green. TNT pace. Uh-oh. One in turn 3, not able to get in the corner quite well enough. So
yeah, a little bump over there in turn 3 is really what's aggravating some of these guys.
Outside row 3 for Junior for now, seeking his 4th win of this season. Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the pole for tonight's NASCAR Busch Series race here at Bristol, TNT, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Immediately following our coverage of Nextel Cup Series Happy Hour. We got a lot of racing for you from here at Bristole.
I'll tell you what, if we want to interview the pole sitter Mark Martin, we better hurry.
Yeah, you're right, BP, because he's about to lose it.
I don't think we're going to make it.
Jeff Gordon has won 3 of the last 5 pole positions here at Bristol. He has been on the front row for the last 5 straight Bristol races, and Pace Chase says he's in good shape for another.
Yeah, watch how this car, watch how the front of the car just fights to the racetrack getting off the corner. That is just impressive if you can get a car to do that.
Yeah, that is just fantastic the way that car is going around the corner.
First one under 15 seconds today.
Oh, a little bit loose, almost lost it right there.
14.930 on his first lap, the bailout on the second lap, and Jeff Gordon is the new leader in Bud Pole qualifying here at Bristol. Jeff has had a lot of success here at this racetrack. Remember this little bump and run?
Rusty Wallace leading. Just a little bit of a bump in the back. Around goes Jeff Gordon.
Rusty Wallace not leading anymore. Jeff Gordon winning. One of 5 victories he has had here at the world's fastest half mile. And he'll very much be in the hunt on Saturday night when it's time to wave that checkered flag. So Jeff Gordon is the new leader in qualifying. Here's Jeremy Mayfield, one of those guys in the race to the chase. Mayfield 6 points out of the top 10 in 11th spot coming into the weekend.
And he struggled in qualifying, in practice, I should say, 23rd best. But not too bad the first lap. He's going to show him 5th best.
Yep. 15.223. How about racing your teammate for that last spot in the top 10? If it comes down to that at Richmond in a couple weeks.
How brutal is that?
Kept it up, 3rd quick.
Wow, look at that.
On the 2nd lap, too.
Very nice. So Jeremy Mayfield at 15.135. And while we wait for Ricky Craven to come out on track, let me tell you about the Valpak Blue Envelope you can watch for in your mailbox coming soon. You can win a trip to experience NASCAR VIP style or other great prizes. Log on to TNT.tv for more details.
Ricky Craven, another car that really struggled in practice. He was about 38th best, ran a 15.35.
I think a struggle period here this season. Yet to record a top 10 finish this year. It's a guy that's won a race on a couple of occasions in the last few years.
the opposite of a lot of other guys. He looks like he's pretty good in 3 and 4, but he's struggling right here. Turn 1.
First lap. 10th best. Not too bad first lap.
And that one hurt too. It's going to end up being about the same. Still showing 10th. Lap 2, just about identical. So Ricky Craven 10th out of 16 so far. Matt?
Dale Jr. currently 8th on the scoring charts now. At one point, BP had you in the green.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The car is a little slick. You get what you get here, and either I did something wrong or just didn't have enough grip. I don't know. Just ran what we ran, and that's what we got.
So he'll be on the pole for tonight's Busch Series race. His last 2 Bristol night races here in Cup. He started 2nd and 9th.
That's kind of a resigned interview. You run what you run, and that's what you got.
And really, I heard some frustration in that interview, because I'm sure that Tony Uri Jr. is asking him how's the car, and he's trying to figure out what to tell him to do to the car to make it better.
The problem is you get around here so fast you can't remember.
Exactly.
Watch the right rear fender of Ward Burton's car here. Is that sitting down on the tire a little bit? Thought I saw a puff of smoke when he came by on his first lap, like he might have had that right rear tire rubbing the fender well. 6th fastest for Ward.
Good lap.
15.191 on the first of his 2 laps. That'll put him 6th out of 17. Talked to Ward this morning. There's frustration. There's another group needing results desperately.
Yep.
Out on track now to begin his 2 laps of Bud Pole qualifying. Dave, where are you now?
Well, Alan, I decided I would come out and watch qualifying, because that's part of the Bristol experience, is where you get your seats and being close to the action here. And I'm amazed at how close, just how very close you can be to the action here when you're watching. I'm less than 20 feet from the track right now in one of the front row seats. But of course, these people here, they will not be sitting on their seats. They'll be up all night long cheering for their guys. And this close to the track, it's where people want to be. In fact, seats used to be closer down toward the wall here. And at one time, the wall was higher than the seats. You couldn't even see the race. They still bought the tickets because they want to be close to the action here at Bristol.
Yeah, you are close to it.
This is a place where front row seats are not really the choice seats.
Derek Cope finishing his qualifying run 15th out of 18 in Bud Pole qualifying. Jeff Gordon on top of things so far over Mark Martin, Jeremy Mayfield, Jimmy Johnson, and Rusty Wallace. USA Today is the place for a comprehensive look at motorsports. Get all the latest stats, standings, and race results to keep up with your favorite teams and drivers. Pick up a copy of USA Today every day. Little break in qualifying here, a little debris on the racetrack in turn 3, sending out one of the cleanup trucks for a track inspection. And so Kevin Harvick waits at the head of the line. He'll be next out chasing Jeff Gordon. Let's go downstairs.
Well, lately it really hasn't mattered where Kurt Busch has started here at Bristol. He's won the last 3 races, 4 of the last 5 races here. Does it matter where you start here, Kurt?
It does help out a little bit. But we got the quietest paint scheme we've ever had on our Sharpie car, and we're just doing the Just Click promotion. It's our retractable Sharpie program, and so far it's been fun to do everything single-handedly, but I'm going to have both hands on the wheel to do this deal.
It's a big weekend for he and his sponsor. Kurt obviously won 4 of the last 5 races here. Those 3 wins, the last 3, have all come in this race car.
He worked that sponsor plug-in rather smoothly. I'm going to need both hands on the wheel here.
Should Michael pay attention?
Hey, don't be teasing him. We'll see if a pizza shows up here.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take it all back if the pizza shows up.
Here's Kevin Harvick on track. Here's a guy with just an outstanding record of accomplishment here at Bristol. He's got 3 NASCAR Busch Series wins here. He has 6 top 10 finishes in 7 Cup races at this track.
And first lap, he was 8th best. Can he pick it up? Computer says 5th. No, 7th. No, 8th. I guess he's back to 8th again.
15.228 on his first lap and a 15.243 on lap 2. So Kevin Harvick outside of row number 4 now. After 19, drivers have gone. Your turn, Matt.
You heard Jeff Gordon say at the top of our show he needed to improve on his 14.939, and you did it with a 14.930. Did the track get slicker, Jeff?
Yeah, that's why I ran that second lap, because it just didn't feel like it was there. You know, the track definitely has lost some grip. I think the sun is beating down on it, slipping it up a little bit. So, you know, I knew it was a solid lap, but I didn't think it was enough. So I went for that second lap and almost lost it down there in 3 and 4. I'd have been pretty embarrassed if we'd have had if I didn't know what kind of lap we had in that first lap and then crashed it on the second lap. So, you know, we'll just see what happens. It's definitely, I think, a good lap for the way the track is right now.
Trying to hold on for his 6th straight front row start here in Thunder Valley.
How impressive is this? Kevin LePage, 10th spot so far out of 20 cars.
You know, but this doesn't surprise me at all. Kevin LePage is a really, really good qualifier.
Talked with Kevin this morning. He was just hoping to get this car into the field. He knows it's an underfunded and under-equipped and under-financed team, one of these new operations that's looking to build. He said, if I can come out here and qualify well, I can show people what kind of job I can do.
He's in the race.
Yep,
he's in.
He squeezes a lot out of race cars, so it's good.
So Kevin in 10th out of 20. Here's Elliott Sadler.
He was a car that was quick at one point in practice today.
Former Bristol winner in the March race of 2001. He started 38th that day, going back to, like we were talking before, BP. You don't have to start up front to win here, but it sure does help.
First lap will not be the pole, according to the computer. It says second best. Is that right? No, third.
That's pretty good.
TNT Pace Chase still in the red. Careful, careful.
Tell you what, there's a bump or something down there that is giving these guys fits.
So when Elliott comes in, the hands will be shaking and the heart will be pounding. But he got away with it and has gotten the 3rd fastest run so far.
You have to drive these cars in so hard here. When that happens, it's like, well, you can't do that because you have all the air in your lungs anyway. You haven't exhaled yet.
Good run for Elliott. Ricky Rudd in the Wood Brothers car with new crew chief Michael McSwain on hand this morning.
Yep, Ricky and Fatback reunited.
29 Bud poles in his Kingsville Cup career for Ricky Rudd. Most recent in Talladega, April of this year. Bristol, he's a pole winner back in 1984.
If you don't understand, Ricky Rudd, the driver, and Michael McSwain, the crew chief, worked together when Ricky drove the 48 car for Robert Yates.
13th fastest on his first lap for Rudd, 15.298. And about the same on lap 2. 15.317. So Ricky going to be on the inside of row number 7 for the Wood Brothers as we come up on halfway in the session.
And that's another thing. If you can't be up front, then you want to be on the inside here.
Yeah. Oh, yes. You do not want to be hung up on the outside. Now, here's a kid who I thought was really good in practice. Let's see if McMurray can bring this thing to the pole position.
8th fastest in practice today, qualified 6th for the race in March.
Another guy that got off the turn 4 looked like really good.
What's Pace Chase saying?
Yeah, it's his 3rd best. Running into the rev limiter.
Second.
Yeah.
Look at this, 2nd.
Pretty good run.
Mark Martin is bumped back to 3rd. Jamie McMurray to 2nd quickest.
Now, Jamie McMurray would like for someone to beat him, move him back to the inside row, because that will probably be the row that takes off when the green flag waves tomorrow night, the inside row.
Definitely.
Outside pole, 15.098 seconds. Nice job, Jamie McMurray.
Maybe if they would have had that limiter 100 RPMs more.
I know. Or just cut it off.
Just cut it off. Well, then he would have went way too far in and pushed up.
Kyle Petty's turn. Best qualifying here at Bristol. 3rd for Kyle.
Kyle was 34th best. So far, not, well, let's see, what we got? 24 cars to qualify, not too bad.
This racetrack's just been one that Kyle's never had a great deal of success on in his career.
Didn't he say something about filling it up with water, putting fish in it?
Well, that was Darlington.
I thought that was Dover.
That was Darlington. Well, he might have said it at Dover, too. Maybe he said it here, too.
I think he said it here, too.
Maybe that's his answer to all these places that he doesn't like. Not bad. 14th out of 24 for Kyle Petty at 15.296. Let's go downstairs.
Elliott Sadler currently fourth. Now, you had an interesting entrance into turn 3, Elliott.
Yeah, we lost a lot of grip for some reason, and the car won't definitely not as good in qualifying as it was in practice. And I was trying to make up for it, and pretty stupid. Drove in the corner too hard in 3 and had to chase it up the track. But here at Bristol, you just got to go for it. You got to throw the car in there and hope it sticks. And I almost made a boo-boo, but M&M's 4 tours in one piece. Not as good as we wanted to be, but hopefully the race good tomorrow night.
Now here's the guy they're all thinking it might have a chance for the pole. First lap, did not do it. Outside pole, can he pick up enough on this lap?
I don't think so.
And he is going for it.
Second. Yeah, did he do it?
Second.
2 very consistent laps of 15 flat. But Jeff Gordon was at 1490. And so Ryan Newman comes up second to Jeff Gordon by the slimmest of margins.
Jamie's now third. Be happy about that.
Yeah, he'd be tickled to death, be on an inside row.
25 of 48 cars have gone. Here's Tony Sadler. Make his third Nextel Cup Series race here at Bristol. Took a provisional, started 42nd in March. He is a former Busch Series pole winner here at the world's fastest half mile. How about lap 1?
22nd best on that first lap.
It's a 15.481 BP, 22nd out of 26.
Pick it up just a tick if he possibly can. Did he pick it up? No.
Yeah, a little bit slow. So Sadler 22nd out of 26. Jeff Gordon and Ryan Newman are now the front row in Bud Pole qualifying at Bristol. TNT live at Bristol Motor Speedway with Bud Pole qualifying for the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. Here is Kenny Wallace driving for Michael Waltrip Racing.
You know, if he could just duplicate this morning's practice, he'd be in pretty good shape. He ran a 23.
Pretty good right now.
Right now, he's looking pretty good. That's
lost some time in 3.
5th best. It's not a bad lap.
A little bit between turn 4 and the stripe. BP going to end up 13th on that first lap, 15.263. And as the gauge spins there on the left side of Pace Chase, this one isn't going to be any better.
Well, a little bit worse.
So 15th, check that, 13th out of 27 for Kenny Wallace. At 15.263 seconds, will be in the show. His third Cup race of 2004. By the way, Kenny's starting third tonight in the NASCAR Busch Series race. Well, here's a man trying to make a little history here this weekend at Bristol. Kurt Busch has won 4 of the last 5 races here and the last 3 straight. Trying to become the second driver ever to win 4 straight at this racetrack.
Ooh, a little bit loose there.
Darrell Waltrip winning 7 straight here in the mid-1980s.
That little loose business hurt him.
First lap for 14th, 15.271.
This is Carson a little bit better, and it was when he got to turn 3.
He helped him a little bit.
Yep, 12th. Spot 15.234 for Kurt Busch in his drive to make it 5 Bristol wins. He'll come from midfield. Marty, your turn.
Jamie McMurray happily still on the inside. That's the good part, Jamie. But they made a tire pressure adjustment on the pit road. Was that the right call or the wrong call?
Well, usually you get a little bit free here when it comes time to qualify, and all we did was let a half pound on the right rear just to try to just snug it up a little bit. I was a little bit loose on my last bonsai run and just a little bit tight, but that's pretty good. That's faster than I ran in practice, and looks like most of the guys are running the same or a little slower. So I think that that'll be a top 10. Hopefully we get to pick a good pit stall, and we seem to always race well here, so looking forward to it.
He talks about how well he races here. He's never finished worse than 11th here at Bristol. That's a pretty good record.
Brendan Gaughan. He is on track now.
That's a new groove down, new line down in 1 and 2.
Didn't care for it much, did you?
Tell you what, it's going to be a good lap.
It's not bad.
How about 10th?
I'm sure he'll take 10th.
15.195. Brendan qualified 7th in the March.
Oh, look out, look out.
I got it. couldn't save it.
It's all right. That's cosmetic. They won't have to pull out the backup for that.
Just that amount of fender damage on Saturday night at the finish, and he'd probably be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, may as well keep it that way.
Yeah. 15.195, 10th fastest out of 29 for Brendan Gaughan. With the crew a little bit of work to do to repair that machine in time for the happy hour practice. It comes up in a couple of hours.
7-8 that puts him into the top 10.
It's that turn 3 bump wobble thing you were talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but get in there, and it's almost like the car takes a set and then just shoots it up the racetrack.
Just could not quite get the car back down there.
There.
And he was not as low as some of the other cars. So evidently that bump goes from bottom to top.
Might have been his problem that he wasn't as low as some of the other cars. You never know.
Could have been.
So Brendan Gaughan with a good qualifying run and then a little trouble on lap number 2. And the Penske Jasper team a little bit of work to do to get that one back in shape. Matt?
Brendan's teammate Ryan Newman was watching his lap up on the Big Tron. So how was your lap, Ryan?
A little slower. You know, just I think the track definitely lost a little bit of speed, but Jeff repeated, and you know, he did a great job. We'll just hopefully end up in the top 5 with our all-tell Dodge, get us a good starting spot, and try to stay out of the mess tomorrow night.
A fun place to race or a very temper-minding place to race?
Every place is fun when you're out front, so hopefully we can be there.
That's an interesting philosophy.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
You can lead, they're all fun.
Little track inspection going on to get any debris Brendan Gaughan might have dropped after bouncing off the wall, so we'll take a break. Tony Stewart among those still to come in Bud Pole qualifying at Bristol. Cleanup's over and we're back underway in Bud Pole qualifying here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Michael Waltrip to the green flag.
Now, if Michael could just duplicate this morning's practice, he'll be 6th or 7th best. Or if he can pick up even further up. Right now, he's like struggling to find some speed.
Yeah.
Reader says he's starting to get...
Oh! Look out. That's trouble. Oh, he missed the inside wall. Oh, man. Outside.
Brother. Man, he slid forever in that
He sure
car.
did.
Oh, that's too bad.
It is too bad.
You don't realize how fast, I tell people all the time, you don't realize how fast you're going until you're going sideways or backwards.
And trying to stop.
And yeah, I mean, he went from, you know, turn 4 all the way in past turn 1 before he hit the wall.
That's a backup.
That is definitely a backup.
Yeah.
That's more than cosmetic.
Okay, bud.
That's just what we talked about. You stand on the gas, you hope it sticks. If it doesn't, you go for a ride.
Heard Michael answer his crew chief Slugger Labby there that he's okay. So a look at Michael Waltrip and what put his car in that condition.
Comes off turn 4 and just right here he gets the car. It probably pushes up the hill. It might have been chased it, but he stayed in the gas until they realized he was in trouble. And then it's too late. Could not get it stopped.
We all thought he was okay when he missed that pit wall on the inside.
I guess it was loose from chasing the car up there.
Yeah, it was definitely loose. That left front wheel looked like it was not even touching the racetrack right before he got to that point. Watch the left front. I won't get to see it. That thing is really light over there.
Actually comes off the ground when he hits the wall.
Thought he was good.
I think he thought he was good too. So that.
Not too good. I hate that for Mike. And his team will go about pulling out the backup car, and he will have to come from the back for a good finish on Saturday night in the Sharpie 500. So another red flag is out in our Bud Pole qualifying session here in Thunder Valley. Bud Pole qualifying from Bristol Motor Speedway on TNT is brought to you by Quaker State, the power to reduce friction. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by the U.S. Department of Transportation, you drink and drive, you lose. Back underway with Bud Pole qualifying after the cleanup from the Michael Waltrip crash. Todd Bodine is on track now.
Here, that wasn't pretty there.
No, that was a little bit too high up in 3 and 4. Got to stay on the bottom.
And
He can't stay on the bottom.
Keep it down there.
Todd and this team announcing that they're going Craftsman Truck Series racing in a Toyota.
And that thing looks like a handful.
Starting at Richmond in a couple of weeks.
And Don Arnold told me a couple of weeks ago that he was working on that, and he worked it out.
Yep. So Todd, not too good there, back in 27th out of 31 so far. And an attempt to make the field for the Sharpie 500. Speed Channel has more coverage of this Bristol race weekend, including trackside tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Larry and Jeff and the boys will have some of the drivers stop by. You can see that live on Speed.
Stanton Barrett in the 52 car. Attempting to qualify.
Yeah, Stanton looking to make his second Nextel Cup Series start at Bristol this season. He was here in the race back in March, qualified 38th, got the last spot on time, wound up finishing 32nd after a late accident.
Last time was 28th. Puts him 28th the first lap, and that's going to be what he gets.
And I don't think that 52 has a provisional, so could be in trouble making the field tonight.
Let's see. Matt?
Well, Alan, moments ago, Ryan Newman walked up, poked his head inside the race car. Jimmy starts shaking his head. Why?
Well, he's got me, when we were up here testing, he loaned me a full-face helmet, told me I needed to try it, and I did, and I ordered a new one, so it should be in here. We're going to try it this afternoon in practice, and then definitely probably have it on for California next week. I'm not ready for it here at Bristol without a lot of practice, so we're going to put it on. They're putting a radio in it right now, just got here this morning, so something new for me.
A lot of people have been pushing you to go to a full-face helmet for a long time, haven't they?
Yeah, just hard-headed. Just being so used to what I've done, you know, and there's no other excuse for it. And I need to do it. I mean, there's no doubt about it. With the fire in the cars and all that stuff, we need to look at the best way to be safe, and we're going to put one on.
He assured Ryan that he would have it at Fontana. It was pretty funny, though, watching Ryan walk up, peek inside, and you didn't see it hanging on the hook.
So you were oohing about Tony Raines?
Yeah.
Yes, I was. Same deal, turn 3. Yahoo.
But 20th best, so he's in.
Yeah, definitely. And a good job for Tony, who is in that car this week. Now it's Greg Biffle, last week's winner at Michigan. Qualified third here back in March, BP.
Struggled a little bit in practice this morning. He was 25th best. Let's see.
That was right along the bottom.
Doesn't look too bad. And survey says
it's pretty good.
7th best, not bad at all.
15.148 for Greg Biffle on lap 1.
TNT Pace Chase says, not as good.
He'll take that.
Oh, yeah.
7th for Greg Biffle out of 34. Marty.
Tony Stewart makes career start number 200 this weekend, but 6th fastest in practice. One of the guys told me you got a real shot at the pole today. You feel that way, Tony?
Well, I mean, we were a little bit tight with the setup we had, but with the way everybody's getting loose, I think it's probably going to come to us. I don't know if we'll get the pole or not, but I'm real proud of the Home Depot guys this week. I mean, this car is really drivable. We could go out and run the times we were running it almost every run, so it shows me that this is a car that's going to really race well.
And for every lap you lead this weekend, you can make some money for the Tony Stewart Foundation, too.
Yeah, I'm really proud of Home Depot. You know, they're as happy about our 200 start as we are, and they're donating $200 a lap for every lap that we lead with a guarantee of $20,000. So it's like leading 100 laps. So, you know, even if we don't lead a lap, they're going to donate that kind of money. And it's nice. I mean, that money, we're still trying to decide what we're going to do with it with the foundation. But it's nice to know that Home Depot is that proud of what we've done in our Cup Series career and willing to back us that way after 200 race starts.
Tony won this race in 2001, Alan.
Robbie Gordon going to be a little bit disappointed with his qualifying result, I should think.
Yeah, I think so, too, because he was one of the best cars in practice, had the 3rd fastest time in the 2-hour practice session. He ends up where, Alan?
12th.
It looked like he got in way, way deep the first lap in turn 1, and then he got loose in 3 and 4, which cost him because the second lap looked great.
Matt Kenseth was 10th fastest in practice. Here's a guy with 5 straight finishes of 6th or better here at Bristol. Doesn't usually qualify that well here.
Clean looking lap right there. Yeah, this is not bad at all. He usually doesn't qualify very well anywhere.
That's 15th on the first lap, guys. At a 15.231 for Matt Kenseth, 15th out of 36. And up the hill a little bit, turn 3.
I noticed that on both laps. As he entered turn 3, the car moved uphill just a little bit.
So Kenseth 15th out of 36 on his lap in pursuit of his first win here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's been kind of an action-packed Bud Pole qualifying session so far. Tony Ave earlier.
In the inside wall.
Yep. There's there. Elliott Sadler with a glove save and a beauty.
Yes, almost gets the wall. And Brendan Gaughan not so lucky. Same situation, but the wall got there before he could get slowed down.
Oh, Michael almost missed it. Well, he missed it there, but man, he hit that hard, just sideways forever.
And Jimmy Spencer is on track now.
New look this week for Jimmy. Local sponsor, Food City folks.
Ooh, hang on, James.
His local team, Abingdon, Virginia, just 10 miles or so up the road here is where the Morgan McClure Racing team is based. And Jimmy's second lap is going to be a little bit quicker, but it's only going to be good for 28th spot. If Spencer's got a car underneath him Saturday night, he will come to the front. This is his best racetrack, without question. Marty, your turn.
Greg Biffle qualified 7th, Alan, so far, and he came on the radio, said that was my fault. I overdrove that one just a little bit, Greg.
Yeah, just all those guys spun out and wrecked there, and we didn't want to have to get our backup car out, and we tightened it up before we went with some tire pressure, and it was just too tight. We should have stuck with our plan. We'd already tightened it up a little bit, and I was tight on the very last run. I said, just leave it there. It'll be a good lap, and figured I could do something in the teens, but it was a little bit better than that. I just left some out there.
The other half of his conversation with the team was, guys, we have a really, really good car that could win the race.
And that just goes to show you, when you're sitting there in the car and these guys are wrecking, you're thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it messes with your head a little bit, you know, and you start thinking, and then you start second guessing if maybe we shouldn't make a change.
Dale Jarrett,
good lap.
Completes his qualifying run, 10th best. Hey, Burns, you know that sun will bake your brains out. You better find some shade. Where are you?
You know, BP, you told me those low seats weren't the best ones, so I went up about 80 rows. I guess it'd be like row double B when you go through the alphabet a couple of times. Up to where I can just watch the TV on the new tower out there, see the whole infield, see the pit lane, see the whole track, because this place is like a football stadium, and up here in the highest seats in the Earnhardt Terrace, it is a great place to watch a race. I mean, the view is incredible. You can look back out to the hills of Tennessee, but you can also look and view the entire racetrack from up here, and it's in the shade, so I don't get baked by the sun. Now, back to that tower down there. That is brand new. That's 150 feet tall. It's got 29-foot wide monitors all the way around it, so people can see the replays and the live action, and it's also got the scoring pylon. And since it's such a nice view from up here, I think since the only thing I'm really missing are seeing the TNT promos of Law and Order Marathon from up here, I think I'll just stay up here and watch the rest of qualifying.
Sound like a plan to me, David.
Won't take long for the rest of qualifying to happen. Generally, zoom, zoom. Here's Morgan Shepherd, who has finished in 37th of 39, bumping Ryan McGlynn, who did not finish his qualifying effort earlier. And Tony Ave will now be on the bubble.
Dave said he was going to miss those Law and Order promos. Cue the promos. There we go.
Freeze! They're gonna put you in jail for the rest of your life. Why did you kill her? She deserved what she got. You have the right to remain silent. Why did you lie, Mr. Kamen?
There it is.
There we go.
Labor Day on TNT. Here's Bobby Labonte on track in Bud Pole qualifying in Bristol.
Pretty good lap. 14th best time. First lap.
Second was not going to be too good. He had all kind of trouble in turn 3.
No, not bad. 14th. Yep. Out of 40 right now, Avi and McGlynn both have been bumped. Who's on the bump on them? Morgan Shepherd?
Yep. And Bobby Labonte's teammate, Tony Stewart, will come out onto the track next. So Bobby safely into the top 20 at this point.
All right, Tony said he had a shot. Everything worked out right.
That looked good. Getting up to the green's pretty important here. Back in the gas hard.
Right on the bottom of the racetrack. Man, oh man.
Sure looks pretty. I don't know how that fast it's going to be.
Yeah, the clock. I don't know what the clock's going to tell us, but sure didn't look good.
Fourth fastest.
To Chef. 15.112 for Tony Stewart on lap 1. There have been 7 cars whose second lap has been faster. Will Tony be one of them?
I don't think so.
Not off by much.
And a 15.
It's 15.154, so 0.04 of a second slower on the second lap. That's that good, consistent pace he was telling us about earlier that might help him to victory lane for a second time at Bristol. This was a few years ago. Tony Stewart winning here. It's back August of 2001. He led only 71 laps that night after starting in 18th position. But the only lap you really need to lead here is the last one.
All right, here's a young man currently 10th in NASCAR Nextel Cup points and trying to stay there. Having trouble up turn 3, isn't he?
Join the club, huh?
Yeah.
Track got shady awfully quick, too.
Good lap, 6th fast, first time.
Casey was 9th fastest in practice earlier today. About it.
Ran about the same speed that he ran in practice this morning.
Faster on his second lap. Second fastest for Casey Kane. How about that? Driver who moved into the top 10 in the championship standings at the end of the Michigan race a week ago. And he's got himself a great starting spot to try and avoid some of the trouble in the Sharpie 500 tomorrow night.
Tell you what, this track, concrete we talked about, not temperature sensitive as asphalt, but 1 and 2 right now is in the shade, and it'll make a little bit of a difference.
Terry Labonte looking to make his 52nd career start in the Nextel Cup Series here at Bristol this weekend.
I saw Terry walking through the garage here this morning. I started to go up to him and say, Terry, don't you think you've been coming to this place long enough? 52 times.
Wow, good run. 11th fastest on the first lap for the two-time champ. He was 33rd fastest in practice, so they found some speed in this car.
Turn 1 and 2.
Telling you what.
Yeah.
On a cloud.
Yeah, I mean, look how shady it is over there. That when the surface cools down a little bit, you're going to get some grip.
So Terry 11th fastest out of the 43, bumping Stanton Barrett. Bumping Derek Cope out of the qualifiers and putting Stanton Barrett on the bubble. And there are 5 cars to go.
Jeff Burton, he ran awfully well. 5th best in practice this morning. Can he duplicate? And that looks good.
Best qualifying ever for Jeff Burton at Bristol. 5th spring race, 1998.
Looks good.
Whoa, looks good.
A little bit of a slip there.
Not bad, 14th.
All right, let's see. Morgan's been bumped. Brad Teague has. Derek Cope has been bumped. And Stanton Barrett has been bumped. And Todd Bodine currently 38th on the qualifying bubble.
A little bit slower lap 2 for Jeff Burton. So 14th out of 44. And you see the numbers there for Burton. 4 cars to go in Bud Pole qualifying here at Bristol. You're watching NASCAR on TNT.
Bristol, you must finish. When those lights go down, just all heck breaks loose. Fast and furious. We go so fast there. It's just non-stop action. You never get a break. Tires are spinning, the car's sideways, you're heading to the wall. Whether you're the leader or running last, you could be a victim at any second. It's an amazing place. It's my favorite race of the year. There's no other place like it.
That about says it all for the Sharpie 500.
Sterling Marlin, 3rd best. Only took the 1 lap, evidently messed up on the second, so heck with that. But 3rd best with that first lap at a 15.074.
I think maybe he just decided he didn't want to hold his breath anymore.
When they told him 3rd fastest, it was like, okay, yay.
Matt?
Tony Stewart helping Scott Deal and the guys get this car ready for the first of 2 practice sessions tonight. Tony, did the track get slicker? A lot of guys have said the track is a lot more free from practice.
Yeah, it's a little slicker, but
I think guys that had tight cars, it's coming to them a little bit, and guys that had cars that were borderline loose are really loose now. So, we kind of looked back at our notes. We were a little bit tight at the end of the session and tried a couple things, and it got too free. So we put it back, knowing that looking off our notes that the track normally frees up during qualifying. So put a decent number down.
Hey, you got some practice tonight. The crew guys already left you a message at the dash to take care of those fenders.
Yeah, you can tell them exactly word for word what it says, but it's yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing here. I mean, and even though it's a short track, as fast as we're running here, aerodynamics are a big part of it. So you got to take care of them here to keep your aero balance right. And you hate to talk about aero balance at a short track. It's just a fact of life. So not much we can do about it.
And the note says, treat your frienders like they are your friends.
Carl Edwards, winner of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race here on Wednesday night in the field.
Yeah, good run.
24th fastest for Carl.
And he's scheduled. He's in the NASCAR Busch Series race tonight.
Yep, so he's going to be running the triple here this weekend. Just 2 cars to go, separating Jeff Gordon from the Bud Pole Award today. One of them is teammate Brian Vickers.
And Vickers ran a 24 in practice. By the way, Todd Bodine has been bumped. Hermes Sadler has been bumped. Scott Riggs in the 10 car currently on the bubble.
Vickers qualifying 22nd. Back in March in his first Nextel Cup try at Bristol. And 26th fastest on that lap, bumping Scott Riggs on the field. Back into provisional lane.
And Mike Wallace, the 09 on the bubble.
Second lap looked better. I don't know if it was.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Up to 20th for Brian Vickers, 15.226 on lap number 2. And Vickers is in the front half of the field for now. Marty.
Well, Casey Kane put his number 9 car on the outside of the front row. That surprised a lot of people. Did it surprise you?
Well, I knew we had a good car, and Tommy made a couple changes there. Actually, a lot of changes before qualifying, so it cut a lot better than it did in practice, and that's a real good lap. I'm excited. We got a big weekend this weekend, so it'll be nice to start up front.
All right, trying to better their finish they had here in March, which was 40th, the 10th place man in the championship.
Ken Schrader had his season's best finish at Bristol back in March with a 6th place effort for the VAM Racing team. Lap number 1 for Schrader, not good for what he had been expecting from their practice earlier.
Yeah, he had practiced well in his 49 car.
Got to be better. He got through 3 and 4 better. I don't know about 1 and 2.
Schrader 39th on his first lap. Second lap says he is 26th. So Kenny is solidly in the field. That bumps Mike Wallace out of the top 38. And Bud Pole qualifying is over for the 6th time this season. Jeff Gordon is your fast qualifier. Let's hear from him.
For the 6th time in the last 6 races here at Thunder Valley, he'll start on the front row. Now, first off, what were you talking about with Loomis? Were you already talking about the pit stall you want for tomorrow night?
Yeah, we're already talking about pit road. That's been a little bit of an issue for me. So, we'll decide where we're probably going to pit over here on the front straightaway. And
that's what he told me. He said, if we get the pole, I want to choose number 1.
Yeah, we tried to, they tried to help me out and pit on the back straightaway the last time, and it didn't work. So let's go back to the front straightaway. But what a great effort by the DuPont Chevrolet team. Proud of these guys. Brand new race car, and never been tested here and unload and run like that. That's fantastic. It was a great day for us.
What does it mean to a driver to not only win a pole here, but to win a race?
Well, I hadn't won the night race until a couple years ago, and that was just really spectacular to me. But this is a driver's track. I mean, you really got to get after it here, and you got to be aggressive, but you got to really work with the team to get that car working right. And and it's such a place. It's a place that just surviving is one thing, and to win is amazing. So I love this track. It reminds me of Winchester, Salem, short track days, and I love putting these big heavy cars on a track like this.
A lot of success in those old USAC days, and a lot of success here. 5 wins today. He wins his 4th pole.
4th pole in the last 6 Bristol races for Jeff Gordon. Who's in, who's out? We'll have a look when we come back to Thunder Valley. Bud Pole qualifying from Bristol Motor Speedway on TNT is brought to you by Wagner. Be a super painter with the full line of Wagner power painting tools. Paint fast, paint smart. By YJ Stinger, the extreme energy drink. Catch the buzz, feel the sting. And by Wendy's Classic Hamburgers. It's better here. Here we go with the starting lineup for the Sharpie 500 on Saturday night for the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. Jeff Gordon on the pole for the 6th time this season, 4th time here at Bristol, 52nd time in his career.
Then a bunch of Dodges, Kane, Marlin, Newman, and McMurray all in Dodge. Tony Stewart, a Chevrolet in 6th.
Look out for Mark Martin, certainly the hottest driver of late on tour. He come from row 4, former Bristol winner.
Rusty Wallace inside row 7. There's another guy who loves this racetrack.
Think Jeff will let Ward in?
The Burton brothers sharing row 8. Yeah.
Think Jeff will let him in the low lane?
No.
No.
And Kurt Busch going for 4 in a row from the outside of row 12.
Yeah, he's got some traffic to get through. Carl Edwards, his Bristol debut for the Nextel Cup Series. Good qualifying run by Kevin LePage. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. way back in row 15 in the danger zone on the start.
See Michael back there having to go to a backup car. Got some work to do in these practice sessions coming up.
The guys in provisional land. And final spot in the field to Morgan Shepherd. Now those unable to qualify for the Sharpie 500. Tony Ave, Stan Barrett, Ryan McGlynn, Hermie Sadler, and Brad T. A lot more NASCAR for you from Bristol this weekend on TNT. 7 o'clock Eastern tonight. It's NASCAR Happy Hour, followed by the NASCAR Busch Series race. Tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, the Sharpie 500, starting with Discover Card Countdown to Green. World's most dramatic police chase is next on TNT. Jeff Gordon on the pole for tomorrow night's race. We'll talk to you at 7 Eastern.